And then you always do the workshop, but for you, then you take the technique you learn during the workshop and you apply it during the ceremony, the ayahuasca ceremony.
Yeah, it doesn't so much work for me during the workshop, but during the workshop I learn it. And then during the ceremony, usually the next day, it all kicks in and it works. And it's incredible. And I actually came to the very first Spirit Vine thinking, I don't really have any childhood traumas. I got over all that stuff. But my dad was an abusive, violent alcoholic. And all of that stuff, of course, I was just very naive about it. It scarred me and I wasn't over it. But I really did get over it, because of what we went through here.
But how you were thinking that you didn't have childhood traumas if your stepfather was an alcoholic and an abuser? How?
I was naive. And we all have, even childbirth is traumatic. So we all have trauma and we all have to deal with it to better ourselves, which betters the world. And it breaks that cycle. We have to break that cycle.
I think people probably think that they don't have childhood trauma because they don't remember the childhood. So I say, no, that is done. I don't have bad memories, or I don't have memories about my childhood. But then things are not working fine in the present time, or you are overreacting, creating too much. You don't know why, or you cannot be happy because you feel a lot of pressure or depression or anxiety. But you really don't know why, where you got that. And then, when you relax, and we set the intentions, the informations start coming back. The memories, suddenly you appear there. And it was so huge, the trauma, for a child. Not for an adult, for a child, was so huge. And so painful that sometimes you have to go out of your body, you have to disassociate. And then you don't remember what happened. So it's a lot of work to come back to the body, start feeling again, and healing that trauma with your own power. This is the routine. You are doing it yourself, in your own pace. What was what was the workshop you liked before?
I think I still like everything on the inner child because I'm sort of a slow learner, but I'm still learning. And I'm still applying the things from my very first workshops and my first retreat here now. But every little bit that I learn helps me apply those things that I learned over a year ago.
There was a huge jump for you, this retreat?
Oh, yeah.
Can you explain a little about that? What happened?
Um, it was during an ayahuasca ceremony, and I was stuck somewhere in this horrible, terrifying land. And it was the most terrifying place I've ever been and ever seen, ever. And I wanted to scream out, Sylvia, help, Sylvia, help, because I didn't know what to do. And I didn't even feel I was alive or even a human being anymore. I was just stuck in this hell forever. And then I somehow realized that I don't need to call out help for Sylvia, that I just need to trust and love and rely on my inner child. And so I gave him a hug for only actually the second time ever in my life.
So who was scared? You, the adult, or you, the child?
Me, the child. Me, the child.
So you need to protect your child.
Yeah.
And you did it.
And it worked, and I got through it.
And what happened with that health?
It was there for a little while still, but I wasn't so afraid of it anymore. And I became less afraid of it and less afraid of it, and it faded away. And it was amazing. It was a miracle. And now I know that I have that ability and that power to do that under any circumstances, because I could not have imagined anything worse than that.
Nothing can be worse than that.
Nothing.
But also we discovered that that hell, it was like a state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was your feeling of being powerless. And everything was threatening you. Everything was mean, and you were completely powerless. That was hell. But in the moment, no, I can protect my inner child. So you started to feel that you have power. And you don't need to be afraid, that you can choose. And if you have protection, you are not scared anymore. So all that started changing. It was a state of mind.
Yeah, it's and we always have a choice. And feeling powerless is a choice, and it's a state of mind. And feeling powerful is a choice, and it's a state of mind. So why choose the negative things?
Because we don't know that we have that power.
But now I know.
That was a huge fear. And when you are afraid, something happens in reality, and when you are afraid, you interpret the worst scenario. So you can be in a group of people and something happens. Each of us, we perceive something completely different. So the reality is subjective. If you feel safe because you have a lot of protection inside, my reality will be different than somebody that don't have protection. But we're the same. We're in the same place. So we can change that, and so easy. But you were preparing yourself to reach this point. Before, you were overreacting, always. Something bad happened and you overreact, and you enter in panic. This stopped in this retreat. So this is your fourth time here.
Yes.
So we each of us have our own pace. No? We needed to come here and discover this in the fourth retreat. For some people can be one retreat, for some people can be, who knows, years of therapy. I used to be more stubborn. I needed a long time to discover, oh yes, I have this resource, I can use it.
I think I was a turtle in my past life. I'm really slack.
You were what?
A turtle in my
A turtle. So I imagine that you must be feeling a huge relief.
Yeah, and the timing, I'm about to go back home and face some major, scary life changes. So I really feel now that I have the ability to be able to face those in a completely different perspective and get through it.
It's like you grow. It's like before you were a child, reacting as a child, like a child, and now you're a man. So you don't need to enter in panic or escape. You are intelligent, you have resources. I will find a solution. Don't allow the situation overwhelm you. No, stay present and use your power. We all have that all the time. Which one was the favorite workshop? Only the childhood vibration or the others? We did the past life regression this retreat.
Yeah, that didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure eventually it will, but it did this time. But I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
You said that in the last ceremony was amazing, spectacular, and you got everything you were asked.
I did.
What did you get?
I realized what the true definition of failure is, and it wasn't what I thought it was. And I'm not afraid. I was afraid of that failure before, and I'm not afraid of it now. And I've been there before, and I faced it before, and I'm now able to go back home and face things again that were last week. I like almost couldn't face them. They were just so scary. But I've been I've been homeless before, and I went back to those times when I was, and I made it through. And so, you've helped me to see that we have inside of us the ability to get through all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very confident. I know I can. I've done it before, and I know that I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for you, which one was the favorite? Or the one you like it more?
I think the spirit release one. I think that was definitely the most useful one, and it's obviously somewhat of a workshop I will always keep on applying and stuff, just because it's so important to always make sure when something comes up, when you feel this insecurity, make sure you remove it and get it out of your system and stuff. I think it just feels like a massive relief for me. And
What was the most important thing you discovered about yourself?
I think it was the sense of self-love that I've had for the first time, and that I'm actually a very badass woman, I think. And also just that I have the power, to take my life into my own hands, because I think in the last years I've always been very, very passive. I never really took initiative in my job. I really feel I walked through life and I took it as it came, but I never really feel like I took an active role in it. And I think this kind of sense of empowerment, that I can actually change something and taking initiative,
So very similar to what was happening to her. That he said she didn't have the power to create what she wanted.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ready. I like or not, I cannot make changes.
Yeah, exactly. But just I don't know, also this little bit of self-confidence, which I've never had, and just discovering this within myself is actually feels pretty good. So and I think those were really the most important things that I discovered.
You are willing to apply all these techniques in your everyday life.
I mean, there's also, again, here I am, my worries, my fears. There is a bit of a fear that I will fall back into my own habits. But I mean, I have a counselor at home, so I think that's...
It will be temptation.
Yes.
Like anything, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
To realize, I am tempted to go back to that, but I will not do it.
Yeah.
And ask for help. Why not? Do you think you would recommend ayahuasca to your loved one? What do you think this take? Or all? You drink ayahuasca? Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I think I think I definitely would recommend it to my loved ones. It's so strong emotionally, and you get the piece of the puzzle, I want to say, that you want to put a word and some word on some emotion. Sometimes I was not able to do it, even though I'm very sensible and stuff, but sometimes I was still to get it out, and yes, I would definitely recommend.
I think what I find most fascinating is the short amount of time, what you discover about yourself. I feel like I would have never had this discovery if I would have just continued with counseling. I'm not sure if I would have drawn with those conclusions.
You never did psychotherapy before. Why?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I think how it is. People are sad, they are insane, but they don't do psychotherapy. It's not that common in every country.
I know. But yeah, just like 4 ceremonies, and I never really had, I mean, when I look at Judy's experiences during the ceremonies, they were so different from mine, all the visions she had, and I always had one little clue. Like mine was I never really went deep, but I got everything out of it that I needed. And I think it's just so fascinating to see that everyone who participates, they get their answer in their own kind of way. And so yeah, also I would 100% recommend it.
It was very powerful to listen the sharing the other members of the group telling their experiences. And also I know that it's very important to realize that we all have problems. We are not the only one, and it's okay. Nobody's here to criticize me. So everybody felt comfortable talking about your private life in front of other people.
Yes, actually. I came for that, and I was ready to prepare for that as well. So I was ready to whatever it takes to do it. And if it has to say like deeper, like bit private details or whatever, I'm gonna do it. And I'm sure a lot of people picked up on some stuff as well that I said. And I picked up as well on some what people said, like I could recognize myself as well. So yeah, I felt comfortable to talk easy here, And I guess there is a sense of authenticity around you and Theo that you can't hide. You cannot hide.
Yeah, we are not here
To hide. Life is too short, isn't it?
if you want to hide, don't drink ayahuasca. You don't come to a retreat like this to do a mild work. It's strong, it's intense, and can be uncomfortable. But when it's uncomfortable, I am going out of my comfort zone. Ooh, and it's okay because now you have technique. Yeah, can be very uncomfortable sometimes. Can be uncomfortable in certain music. And some people in the ceremonies start fighting, that music, and they put all the blame in the music, and don't do that. Just because it's not the music, it's what the music is triggering on you. So stop wasting your energy fighting with the music. Go inside and say, what? That happened to you, that you have something, special song that you have that?
Oh yeah, especially the first retreat and the first ceremony. I was surprised at myself, and I was mad at myself for fighting it. I was fighting everything, and finally something happened. I surrendered, and then all the magic kicked in. But yeah, some of the songs were terrifying. But when they were over, it was just pure beauty, and usually a really beautiful song would come out, and it would be just so heavenly, and it would be just a new kind of paradise that I never discovered before.
But what did you learn when the music, in the moment that the music were terrifying? What do you think now about that?
That was probably the most important and most necessary part of the whole thing. Getting through that, and not being afraid, and just getting through it, as scary as it was. It was sort of cleansing, and it shaped me. It was that scary music that made all the difference, actually. And at this retreat, I sort of craved it.
Now because you are not afraid anymore.
Yeah. And I heard a couple of the same songs that terrified me, and I was sort of bored of the songs this time. I didn't have an iota of fear at all, and I was surprised that I was ever afraid of the songs this time. So
I don't know if you read the books of Carlos Castaneda, but he was talking about the petit tyron. In Spanish is the pinche tirano. The petit tyron is a teacher or is a situation that is teaching you but is painful, it's uncomfortable, and it's tough. No, can be a teacher that, no, you will hate this teacher, it's irritating you, it's this, it's that, or a situation is overwhelming, no, this pinche tirano, the T-Tyron. In some cases can be certain music, certain songs, certain sounds, and you are fighting against this and using all your energy to escape. I don't want to listen to this anymore. And if you stop, you relax. And so what is triggering in me, this situation, instead of fighting? You will discover the cause. And you can work in the problem instead of trying to escape and waste all your energy. And when you do that, you resolve the problem forever. And whatever was, it was a song, a person, a situation that was irritating you, it was painful, completely stop. That person don't irritate you anymore, that songs don't snare you anymore, and you have to stop and have the courage, I will do something different. Like for example, in your example, when you were in this horrible reality with horrible and terrifying things, you stop and say, wait a moment, I will not overreact. And you change completely. We will have a lot of opportunities in our everyday life to apply things, to stop and say, what is it? Breathe and apply your technique.
Yeah. I learned that when we change, the world changes.
Absolutely. Perfect. So we are creating the reality. If you are afraid, the reality will be scary. Would you like to comment something else about the other activity?
I mean, it's been, everything, every song's been good. And I think as well, I wanted to say, like, it was so important to have the workshop in order to prepare for the ceremony. I felt like I was guided in a way, so I think this is why it makes me feel safe as well, and trust, everything now, I felt good here. I felt good. It was a challenge, but a good one, and it was worth it. The pain sometimes.
Yeah, it's not a recreational
No, it's not.
retreat at all, and ayahuasca is not recreational. If you are thinking that you are coming here to have a good time and be high, don't come. It's not like that. It's to work hard.
Yeah.
I think what helped me a lot also were the yoga sessions and the massage sessions. I came here and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to do the massage sessions, but in the end I did all three of them.
Why you didn't want to do massage?
I don't know, I was like, I don't need it. But I have to say it was the most relaxing thing ever. And I remember the Friday when we had the first ceremony, I was really nervous in the morning. And just having the yoga, having the massage, like, I felt so relaxed, and it took so much of like my nervousness away as well. And getting up in the morning, and just breathing in, finding yourself to yourself, it just felt so good. So I think that was also like amazing. It's those two things.
And about the accommodations, the location.
Well, I told you my opinion, but yeah, the bungalows are beautiful, very comfortable. And
You thought that you were coming to a more primitive place.
yes,
Really dreaming.
no, but I thought because I thought it was not the main thing, So I think it was me just like I didn't really care about sleeping on a mattress or on a. This is what So I didn't expect to see a lovely bungalow. That was the reason, I think, because I was not focused on the accommodation. I booked a nice hotel after for that,
So you were ready to suffer.
Yeah, I was ready to suffer. I worked hard, so I was like, no, let's do this. I was, yeah. But no, it was beautiful, and as Elena said, so the yoga and the massage as well were really useful, because I don't do this at home. I do other sports and other way to relax. So, but it was nice to to kind of, okay, it's there, take it, take the opportunity, and to immerse yourself totally into the experience. I mean, yeah.
And not to forget about the food. The food, I think it was also one of the best parts. It was just so delicious, and it's nice to see how good vegan cuisine can be. And it's funny because, like, even me now, usually I'm quite good in cravings. Like, sometimes I crave a glass of wine, sometimes I crave chocolate, and right now, I'm like, I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. Just thinking of it just makes me, like, so I think it's also just one of those things. Why do I drink alcohol? What kind of form of...
Wait, you had a lot of pain. You were down in a lot of pain with you.
Yeah.
Alcohol was helping you to feel numb and to feel relaxed. But now, you don't have that pain anymore.
No.
So what is good for prostituting?
Like, if I don't even feel the need to eat cheese, and I love cheese. Like, I'm very happy now in the state I'm in, actually. But so just having this, being forced to kind of not having access to all those temptations, I think it really, the entire environment just helps so much to really just focus on yourself. And although the entire experience can be tough and intense, it felt a bit like a safe haven. Like, after the ceremonies, just lying down in my bed, and also obviously having lots of conversations with your roommate and stuff. I think it just helped so much, to share and to have people to, like, experience this together with, actually. And you don't even know them, but somehow there's a bond between the group. I don't know, it's really bizarre somehow.
Yeah, I've been a vegetarian since I was 17, but the food here, first of all, it's really good, and I'm pussy and I'm a food critic. But the food here is really, really good. And my body now feels so clean, because even though I, never really ate beef and animals, but I'm still always eating junk food, potato chips and French fries and chocolate and stuff. But the absence of those, my body feels so much cleaner, and that's just one of the so many great things about this place. One of the things that drew me here was I looked into so many ayahuasca retreats, and this one was run by a woman, so I felt safer because of that, because I heard some really sketchy stories. But I can tell you that this place is the safest place in the world, if not the universe. It's so safe here. So if anyone's watching this video, it means they're looking for something, and this is it.
The final remark, maybe also the ayahuasca tea itself. I think it was just amazing that everyone got their own unique proportion, and just having your knowledge and Tio's in the end, and always, like, deciding how much everyone should get. And it was not that everyone would have the same amount of tea in the end. I think just because of that, everyone here had an amazing experience in the end and got something out of that. So I think that's also pretty unique about this.
Yeah, we want to stress that each of you have his own time. You have your own pain, your own dose. Stop comparing with others. You will need decent dose. More time, less time. We step back. We are not here competing.
And we're not here to drink ayahuasca and puke and sing Kumbaya. It's a completely different thing from anything that you see in those documentaries.
It's normal to purge. If you need to vomit, it's okay, because you are releasing something that you don't need anymore. But it's not that everybody will vomit. Some people never vomit, and some people vomit every time. So we don't know in advance who will be, but when it's happening, it's okay. It's not that bad. It's not a tragedy. It's not that painful that you were imagining. Oh, that is super painful. Nothing like that.
I've never vomited, so I can't touch it out.
It's an intention. You will vomit, and it's okay, because then you will feel great and release. Well, thank you very much for your collaboration.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful time in Tacaré. And we will be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.